Hi, this is Linda Burton, and we are with Generation to Generation. Today, I am with Pastor Flowers, and we are going to talk about encouraging our youth. So, give me some tips on how to encourage our children.
Well, it's always good to be with you, Linda. And I think this is a very important topic. And I think depending on the culture you come out of, we may not have gotten this lesson good. So it's always important to encourage children, even in redirecting them. We actually have to learn how to encourage even while we redirect. And so part of encouragement has to do with the idea of I have confidence in you, I believe in you, you're good at something. So you always want to address those topics, even in, like I say, in redirecting. There are three questions we talk about all the time. Is am I okay? And did I do good? And do you still love me? And that's always kind of foundation when it comes to encouraging, because you're probably answering one of those questions if you're going to encourage a person.
One of the things that happens is sometimes children misbehave just to receive attention. And we know this from class clowns. They're hungry for someone to pay attention. And we don't know why that is. Sometimes it could be a lack of just being noticed at home, or always being yelled at or hollered at or ignored. We never know why a child will act out. But one of the things that babies do is when we are not paying attention to them, because they don't have the command of language, what do? They cry. That's their language. That's their way of saying, hey, pay attention to me. Hey, I need my diaper changed. Hey, I need some milk. I want some food. I want you to cuddle me. Because we are relational beings. God created us to be relational. Therefore, when we're ignored, or if we don't have the attention that we're longing for, we will sometimes cry out in different ways. And sometimes that crying out is our behavior.
And I think, like we were saying, the question, am I okay, which really addresses would you choose me, is it quite often people feel like they're not chosen. They can be a part of a family and they feel like they're not chosen, or not preferred, or they have no special significance in the family. And that leads to a person having need issues of self-worth, self-value. And quite often a person will interpret attention as approval. So they do all kinds of things just to get attention. What they're really seeking is approval. And so like Babe was saying, the class clown, sometimes they're not just trying to be bad or funny. They're using funny or mischievous to get the attention and that intention is what they interpret as approval, value.
In other words, pay attention to me. Do you notice me? When I think about a sense of belonging, everyone wants to belong somewhere, because that is a biological need. And when we don't have a sense of belonging, we will seek it in ways that may not be approved of or maybe misunderstood. So within the family unit, children need to be told who they are. And I think we either touched on this in this broadcast or maybe another broadcast, because we were talking about parenting. But children need to know that they have a voice and that they'll be heard and that they belong to this family. When you have a sense of belonging is almost like ownership. That's my family. That's my mom. That's my dad. That's my house. That's my church. That's my school. That is our way of being connected to all these different entities so that we have a sense of, I am a valuable part of society. I'm a valuable part of a family, or whatever that is. That's why people, in a job, when they get a promotion, now they want to be known as, I'm a supervisor. And so they want to be known as Mr. now instead of hey George, or hey Al, Supervisor Al or Supervisor George. That's always been a need that mankind has, but sometimes we don't know how to say what we want. We don't know how to say what we need. And without the skills of communication, a lot of times we act out rather than ask, because we don't know how to ask, or we don't know how to put that sentence together where it doesn't sound so needy. Because people don't want you to know that they're needy. I need attention. And so it's important for parents to validate their children as part of the family, that they're, like when parents introduce their sons and daughters, they say, and sometimes, especially when they're small, parents usually put their hand on the child's shoulder or on the child's head and says, this is my son, so-and-so. That's saying, I validate that this person, this child belongs to me. And that's where belonging comes in. And when we have a sense of belonging, because people identify themselves there's so many ways we can identify ourselves. You're male or female, you're African American, or you're Caucasian, or you're biracial, or you're a Democrat, or you're a Republican, or you're what is that other
non something.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, but we are always wanting to have and seek identity, because that makes us feel that we have importance. Everybody wants to feel important in some phase of their lives. And the older we get, the more we want that title of, I am so-and-so. I'm Mr. whatever. This is my family.
And the problem with this is, as we age and we get older, if we don't get that, it creates a real weakness in us, or neediness in a person. And an adult with a neediness, or I don't know if that's a word or not,
It is.
can be in trouble, because it can always be used for a manipulation type of thing. So it starts early with our children. And one of the ways, like Babe was saying, that you can start to encourage your child is like she was saying, putting your hand on them, on their shoulder, introducing them. When they do something, you always want to tell somebody in front of them how proud you are of them. That's a way of encouraging them. And it's good to have family meetings and bring real issues to the table. And I don't necessarily mean problem issues. I mean different things that identify you as a family. And one of the things you say, you are a burden. And as a burden, this is what we do. And then you attach a reason to it. And from that reason you extract, that's why it's valuable to us. You know, and we're valuable. I remember Linda, my dad, telling me as a young boy, you're flowers, and flowers men do this. You know, but it gave me a sense of belonging. I belong to the Flowers family, and part of that was his influence over me, along with my sense of belonging, made me want to be like him.
And I want to actually say that Ancestry.com and those those types of portals where you can go back and trace your ancestors has become more popular because people find out about things in their family that they didn't know, that someone in their family was the first to do this, or someone in their family bought their first home, or someone in their family got their first degree in education, or whatever that is. All of us want to belong to someone or something. Even in the animal kingdom, elephants and tigers, they have this thing, what they call pride. I don't know if you've ever seen any nature films where elephants have their little ones next to them. The little ones aren't going to wander off, and if they do, the mom or the dad is going to take their trunk and bring them back. Or when you see a lion or a tiger, their little ones are with them because they know outside of the mom and the dad that they don't really know where to go. They don't really know what to do. So even in the animal kingdom, the children, if you will, are looking for the parents to help them get on their own, to be able to get out there and hunt and kill kill another animal just so they can eat. But that's that's a survival thing in the animal kingdom. But in families, in human families, we're looking to identify with our people, with our own, even if it's extended family members. I used to enjoy going to an aunt's house. She had the biggest house in the family, and all of the important dinners were done there. All of the holiday dinners, the Thanksgiving dinners, the Christmas dinner. Right now, I can still see that. I can still feel that because it was family. Everybody was
just where we went.
Everybody was in the kitchen, and you would look forward to what so-and-so was bringing. Those are things that you looked for throughout the year because you knew that it was going to be a time of gathering. And when we gathered together, it was all about, so what are you doing these days? So, you'd ask the little cousins, so what's going on with you at school? And they would tell you, oh, I got an A on my report card in math. And then you'd ask the older ones, so what's going on with you? Oh, I think I have a boyfriend, things like that, because it's a sense of you care about me, I care about you, we care about one another. And kids are encouraged when that's done in a, not just at home, but in a gathered setting where there's aunts and uncles and, we're introducing one another to new ways of, this is what we do as a Flowers, or this is what we do as Burtons.
So as a sense of encouragement, Linda, it's important to be intentional about it. Quite often we wait for things, and then depending on the environment we grew up in, sometimes we miss opportunities by saying you should have did that. That's just what you should have done, rather than encouraging a child for doing something. We miss opportunities. So if you're going to build value in your child and a sense of belonging, you have to be intentional about it. And so you create opportunities or look for opportunities to encourage the belonging. You are a Flowers, or you are a Burton, and it helps when you do a physical touch with them. And so the two things that we have to do, we have to instill a sense of belonging as a parent and a sense of I believe in you for our children. So and on a regular basis, of belonging and I believe in you, belonging and I believe in you. So if you get that strong enough in your child, even when you have to redirect them, it's not abusive.
And it takes the bite and the sting out of being corrected, because your relationship with your child is a good one. They feel you know, we're gonna pull that out. They feel better when they're around you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we spend time with them, that gives that child a sense of, I'm important to my parents. I'm important to this family. I haven't contributed anything yet because I don't have a job, but I am important. Everybody has a job to do within the family. And when everyone does their job, it makes the family feel intact. So one of the ways that we can how we can redirect our children is to spend time with them. Because spending time with them gives them a sense of, I'm valuable to the family, so that when they misbehave, they will feel like, oh, I let mom down. You know, I let dad down. And not so much to feel bad, but only because they could have done something and they chose to do something different.
So you start to bring to the table the concept of being responsible. You know, because these are things you actually have to teach children. You have to teach them to be responsible. You can't just do this and expect them to be responsible. You actually have to teach that to a child. And so so the I'm okay or would you choose me helps a child have a sense of belonging. Have a sense of belonging. Did I do good? You see, every child needs, every human, not just a child, but every human needs a cheerleader. Every human needs a cheerleader. So did I do good? Did I do good? And so you always look for things that they've done good. Even in redirecting, you frame that in a way where, okay, this is probably not as good as it can be, but you did this and you did this.
You did that well.
You did that well. And if you keep working on this, or if you tweak it a little bit or go here a little bit, you can even do it better. Why? Because you're a Flowers. And I believe in you. Versus, and it's always a bite in when you tell a person they did something wrong. There's always a bite in that. And so you always, even in redirecting, what you're trying to do is take the bite out of it. Take the bite, because they can't hear you when they're feeling blamed.
And using the words, I am so proud of you. You know, sometimes parents have a tendency not to say that because it doesn't have to be something huge that the child did. But if they went from a D to a C, I'm so proud of you. I knew you could do it. It's in you because you're smart. And when we compliment our children, it encourages them to do better rather than down them or degrade them to the point where they feel like a piece of dirt or sand underneath your foot. To redirect their energy toward, I knew you could do it, and I'm so proud of you. Those are ways that we can encourage our children. Another way is to spend special time with them away from the rest of the family, like mom taking her daughter to buy her first bra, and making that a special time, not an embarrassing time, but just taking her to buy that first garment, and then taking her out for a hamburger and a shake or whatever that is. Making all those awkward moments special. So spending time with the child will make them feel like, okay, my brother isn't getting this treatment, but I am. So I'm encouraged to come to my mom and talk to her because I feel close to her. And that's what we're shooting for, to have our children feel close to us. And we do that through encouraging them.
And what it helps your child understand is the uniqueness of who they are is important to you. You value the uniqueness of your child. Each one is different. And so you spend special time with each one and affirm and encourage the development of the uniqueness of who that child is. So they feel not only are there have a sense of belonging. They feel special in their sense of belonging. I'm unique. I actually have something to add that no one else can add. So that helps them have the sense of need. I feel needed.
Like
I'm important.
yes. I just think about how my mom and I were talking about JoJo's German chocolate cake today. And mom was saying that German chocolate cake is so special. When we hit the house for Thanksgiving dinner, that's one of the things. That's one of the things that we look for.
I'm looking for,
because you know it's three layers. It's 3 layers high, and we knew that it was made with love. So what that does is that acknowledges her work, her effort, because it's, you know, it is work. So when children add to the family, we can lift them by encouraging them, you know, so-and-so did such a great job. And one of those ways that we do that is to give children chores early on. And when they do it, they may not do it as well as we could, but if they make an attempt at it and it looked like they kind of got it right, we still compliment them. We still say, oh, you did such a great job. You know, you try to teach them to make their bed or fold clothes or whatever that looks like. And instead of saying, oh, you didn't do it right, this, I told you, but I've already told you twice, this is how it's done. Rather than do that, because see, that takes, it's almost like a punch in the gut.
Blame.
Yeah, because you're blaming them. Instead of blaming them, we want to encourage them and say, oh, wow, look at what you can do now. You know, you're starting to do things on your own, and we're so proud of you. And the child will, I mean, their sense of value just skyrockets. And you know, because encouragement goes a long way, and their self-esteem will grow and develop because people are paying attention to them, especially within the family.
So as that builds, Linda, as you build on that, you start to add things for them to do, because families, the Flowers family is a productive family. We believe in producing and doing things, and we are a team. We contribute. Everybody contributes. So that's the basic value to clean your room. The value is we are a productive family and everybody contributes.
And we get things done.
Dad's going to go to work here. Mom's going to go to work here. And you're going to go to work here, because the Flowers family work and we contribute to the whole family. So then you set the rule, because you've set the direction and you've given them the value in it. The value is we produce.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so then you set the rule. We want you to clean your room. Now, here's what Mama wants. Mama wants you to clean the room. Now, know this. Mama is now depending on you to do it.
That makes
Mama's
all the difference
trusting
in the world.
you to do it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You know, and so when you come back up around, even if you have to redirect, you left this there, you don't need to go there, pick this up and do this and that. You did such a good job. Mama's so proud of you. You know, you can even have words that become unique to you. Look at you. Look at you. You know, those kinds of things. And so the child starts to get a sense of responsibility.
Right.
And from that sense of responsibility, they have a sense of importance, because they know you're depending on them.
Another thing that's important is as children grow and develop and mature, you want to allow them to help make decisions for the family. You know, so what do you think?
Yeah, you include.
You know, what would you guys like one day out of the week for? You know, it might even give you a break, rather than making a roast and baked chicken and potatoes and green beans and we're starting to get hungry.
Uh-oh.
But ask them. I remember this because this is something my mom did. One night we had breakfast for dinner. I remember that. I remember that because it was so out of the norm. But she said, would you like to have pancakes for dinner? And we're like, yeah, that sounds good. And so when kids get to help make decisions, for one thing, it makes them understand that they are not little kids anymore, that you trust them to make good decisions and that you're depending on them. So when you have those family meetings, you can bring that up. What are some things that you would like to see us do different? What are some things that you would like for us to do on vacation? Sometimes parents are, oh, we're going to take them across country. We're going to stop here. We're going to stop there. And the kids say, well, can we just maybe go to the park one day and go to the movies another day, and maybe go, to the library because maybe they have family night at the library or whatever. Kids can really take us outside of our routine of just doing things like this and doing things like that, and this is the way it's done and this is the way it's always done. They can actually save us money, save us time, save us energy, and they can come up with some great ideas, things that maybe we never even considered.
Okay, yeah, and I just wanted to say that while we were on vacation in Santa Barbara, we went to a hands-on museum?
Yes, the Moxie Museum.
It's a wonderful place to take a child because it's hands-on. They get to build things and put things together. How does this work and that kind of thing, Linda? And so, and they get to do it, and you get to do it with them. And so that's really when you plan like a vacation, if you're going to take a week or wherever you're going to do it. So you have a child's day. So so Wednesday is the child is your day. So what are we going to do on Wednesday? So they start to feel a part of it, and that increases their sense of belonging.
I might even say, rather than dinner, Mom, can't we have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Now that might not fill everybody up. You might have to make Dad might have to pizza. So. Dad might need 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or a triple decker. But let kids get involved, because when we involve them, it makes them have the sense of belonging, and then it also gives them the responsibility to know that they're contributing to the family, and that their self-esteem will just be boosted through the roof because they know that they're adding to the family.
So, and I think one other thing that's really important in encouragement in families, Linda, is to bring to your family that mistakes are opportunities to learn. And that's something that you have to have in your family meeting. And in our family, mistakes are not to be blamed. What they are is an opportunity to learn. And treat a mistake because children make a lot of mistakes
as well
as adults. But when we treat each other with respect, like, okay, you may have done this, but what did you learn from it? Versus, ooh, look at what you did. Look, I can't believe you did that.
Shaming the child in front of the family
or the other people in the family. So as if we make it a opportunity to learn, then children become more able to take risk. Okay, and in our society, you need to have courage, and courage is what you use when you take risks. You take a risk on something that you believe is going to work. You don't take crazy risks, but you take a risk on something that you believe is going to work. And to do that in our society, as we compete with each other in this cup of humanity. You have to have good, strong character. You have to have courage, and integrity, knowing that I have good self-worth, good self-esteem.
Really
Because if without that, I'm not going to try.
right.
I'm going to look for excuses not to try.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I'm going to fail. Because I've been told I'm nothing but a failure.
And make sure that respect is something that is important within the family, even within the family, saying please, thank you, I appreciate your help. Sometimes, I think we as parents, we can get in a rut where we just have these expectations. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to clean your room. You're supposed to wash the dishes. But if you wash the dishes and you've done it because you know that is your responsibility on Thursday night or whatever, to say thank you, it doesn't hurt anybody. And this just came to me, to give our kids a certificate of appreciation. When they've done well for the month of, make a big deal about it, and then go out for ice cream. The whole month, so-and-so did their homework. They kept their room clean. They did their chores without being asked. Let's go out and celebrate with some ice cream, or bring in some pizza and have family fun night, or whatever that looks like.
And you always want to, as you do that, you always want to reaffirm the fact that this is who we are. This is what we do. This is, you are a burden, or you're flowers, and flowers, people are boys or girls, do this. This is who we are. And so we appreciate you, but know this is who you are. And the other thing in this is, so we basically said this. The first question is, am I okay? Or would you choose me? And the second one is, did I do good? Or will you cheer for me, encourage me? And the third question is, do you still love me? Or do you still care enough to pay for me? And what that really means, mamas and dads should find an opportunity to say to their children, I love you. Even you're 6 years old. I know who you are. I know you. I know what you've done. And I would give birth to you again, just to get you here, so I could be with you. Those kinds of things really go along with a child needs to, they may not understand the pain that comes with it, but what they're getting a sense of is that I would go through whatever I need to go through so I could have you.
And I think it's important that parents let their children know, I'm going to work so that we can have a house to live in. I'm going to work so that we can have food to eat, so that our lights are on, so that children become appreciative, and so that they can every now and then tell their parents thank you. And if parents write thank you notes to their children and kind of leave them under their pillow, or in their drawer when they go to get their pajamas or whatever, I love you and I choose you again. I think that would be so encouraging to a child who maybe, I even hate to bring this up, but kids are really, really getting pressured at school and really getting bullied. So if they have a sense of belonging at home, when someone calls them out of their name, they can continue walking because they know that's not their name. Somebody say, oh, stupid. Who are they talking to? That's not me.
It's not me. I know who I am.
And when kids have a sense of belonging and they're encouraged in the nucleus of the family, they have a sense of pride in who they are. So they don't have to prove themselves to anyone else. They don't have to get in a fight to show people who they are, because they know who they are. They have a sense of belonging, and that comes with encouragement from the mom, from the dad, from the grandparents. You know, your kid needs to hear you brag on them when you call their grandparents. You know, did I tell you that little George got a C+ in spelling? Did I tell you that? And then grandmother, when she comes over, she says, little George, I hear you are really improving in your spelling. What's the biggest word you can spell? You know, so when they get to show off their talents, they'll feel very encouraged. So
Wow.
So we didn't talk all for about a half an hour. So those are just some things, Linda, that and you have to be intentional about it.
I like it. I think it was good, but it made me think it's not just for kids.
no,
And bosses and supervisors should do this with their employee, of just encourage them,
Yes.
letting them know they can make mistakes, we can fix it, as well as spouses doing it to each other. Just it's bigger than just this lesson. This topic is bigger than just our children. If you really think about it, we all need some type of correction sooner or later. How are we receiving it as adults?
right.
Yes.
Because we never know how people were raised in their home. Maybe they were never affirmed. Maybe they were never told that they're good at what they do. And for some people, that's their drive. They're always trying to prove, I'm good enough, I'm good enough, I'm good enough. I'm smart enough, I'm talented enough. So cheer for me. Some people are looking for a cheerleader because they didn't have it at home.
So we have to bury, let's have a funeral and bury blame and shame. Put them in a casket, dig a hole, put it in the ground.
even if it's in an envelope, put it in the trash, put it in the shredder, whatever that looks like.
You could do something like that with our family. We could have a family event and take these two things and bury it and say, in this family, we're not going to do that.
And talk about what you are going to do.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So it's things that we can do, and the whole idea here, the whole object, Linda, is to help our children be healthy, help people to be healthy as they compete in this democratic society. They have to be healthy, otherwise they get just trampled over. They got to have a good sense of self-worth, good sense of self-esteem, and you're never going to become successful without experiencing failure.
Right.
Yeah.
And what you just said about people needing to be affirmed. Sometimes we look at people, not just children, but adults who misbehave. And I'm not talking about criminals. I'm not talking about people that are psychopaths or anything like that, but how sometimes people just go way over in trying to attract attention to themselves. And sometimes you often ask yourself, so what is it that they didn't get when they were a child? Because they're screaming, look at me, please look at me. Please tell me I'm beautiful. Please tell me I'm handsome. Please tell me my this looks good or my that looks good, or you like my this or you like my that. Because they were not affirmed or encouraged as children.
Yeah. I used to think it's because they were bored, but even so, they're bored. Why? Why are they bored?
Yeah.
So hopefully this has been helpful.
I think it has. I think you guys did a wonderful job, and I really appreciate it. So we always say your website address. Can you guys give your website address?
It's familylifeinstitute.com. It's actually https:// Family Life Institute IE or Inland Empire.com. That's our
very long.
I have gone on the internet and just put Family Life Institute, Ontario, California. It pops right up. So Yeah.
Okay. So Google it. Well, I want to thank you guys. You do a wonderful job each time. And I love how the purpose is helping the next generation, giving our knowledge, not letting our knowledge go when we go, that it would carry on so we won't have our children in the future make the same mistakes that we're making. So I really appreciate your time. And to the audience, thank you for listening. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.